Person of color is a term used primarily in the United States to describe any person who is not white. The term encompasses all non-white groups, emphasizing common experiences of racism. The term is not equivalent in use to colored, previously used in the U.S. as a term for African Americans only. People of color was introduced as a preferable replacement to both non-white and minority, which are also inclusive, because it frames the subject positively. Non-white defines people in terms of what they are not, and minority frequently carries a subordinate connotation. Style guides for writing from American Heritage, the Stanford Graduate School of Business, Mount Holyoke College, recommend the term over these alternatives. It may also be used with other collective categories of people such as students of color, men of color and women of color. Person of color typically refers to individuals of non-European heritage. History: the term free person of color was used alongside free colored in the U.S. Census to describe people of partial or full African ancestry who were not slaves, from 1790 until 1860. In South Carolina and other parts of the Deep South, this term was used to distinguish between slaves who were mostly black, or Negro, and free people who were primarily mulatto, or mixed race. Though Martin Luther King, Jr. used the term citizens of color in 1963, the phrase in its current meaning did not catch on until the late 1970s. Racial justice activists in the U.S. influenced by radical theorists like Frantz Fanon popularized it at this time. By the late 1980s and early 1990s, it was in wide circulation. Both anti-racist activists and academics sought to move understandings of race beyond the black-white binary then prevalent. Political significance: according to Stephen Saris, in the United States there are two big racial divides. First, there is the black-white kind, which is basically anti-black. The second racial divide is the one between whites and everyone else, with whites being narrowly construed, and everyone else being called people of color. Because the term people of color includes vastly different people with only the common distinction of not being white, it draws attention to the fundamental role of racialization in the United States. As Joseph Truman argues, the term people of color is attractive because it unites disparate racial and ethnic groups into a larger collective in solidarity with one another. See also, colored, visible minority. References